When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. I'm sick with the talk.
Just off Lakeshore Drive, nestled next to Lake Michigan. That's where you find historic Soldier Field in the great city of Chicago, Illinois. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And the Chicago Bears. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
How about his performance last week? Over 200 yards. I think his decisiveness, one cut and he goes, that's what's really made him pile up the yardage.
And the yardage he piled up last week, easily honored with NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
I would have voted for him.
Now Trubisky on first down. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. 18. Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Hey, Zoo. Hey, watch the ball.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Trubisky. Flushed out right. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
You got nothing.
On second down now, it's Cohen, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
First down marker at the 31. It's third down. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Finding Gabriel complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 28. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
On second and 12, Trubisky. That's complete to Robinson. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. The end result, 21 yards.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Tariq Cohen becoming just the second player with 30 touchdowns in a single year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point from McManus is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Wilson, the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Carson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is. As pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet, just because I want to wait until the season's over. But he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays. They just have not found a way to block him consistently.
The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. As we count down through the final few weeks of the season, these guys have nothing to sweat about. They've clinched the top spots, so the road to the Super Bowl, it runs through them.
And there's a natural inclination here, partner, to say, okay, a lot of guys aren't going to play down the stretch. We've clinched. We're ready to go. But there's another part where you say, let's show the league why we're the number.
They've got his man complete. Give him 32 on the play.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping him on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got the step on him. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. This is Cohen. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal. Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well-organized, well-coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
McManus's point after is good, and it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that zero off the board. They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The numbers for him from a week ago. 8 catches, 62 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is number 1 rated defense in the NFL. They'll have a tough time.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack, but I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone. And into the offensive backfield, he's a heck of a player.
And there, a big TFL tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back. He's bred this big defensive tackle.
And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. They topped the 200-yard mark a week ago. You know they're going to have a lot of eyes and hopefully for them bodies on him here in this one.
You got to expect defensively, forget 8 men in the box. 9, 10,
11?
Hey, listen, they're trying to sneak you and me in there to try and slow him down, but I bet his offensive line mates are going to accept that challenge. They will like block.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want it. Jim.
Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
Alert. 50, Mark 50. You ain't going nowhere.
Hey, Charlie.
Coming to you.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
This is Carson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
You.
Here's Carson. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. They'll run the screen with Carson. And he'll lose lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 2, now third down. And that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
You gonna see me in your nightmares, son. You gonna see me.
On second down, it's Carson. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On third down, Wilson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
That's it, baby. We gonna work.
Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the deep.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, it totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. And that is incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Go. Alert. Check.
Trubisky will throw. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Chris Carson trotting back out there. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
To throw is Wilson. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. A run there on first down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Check pass. Check pass.
Blue. Hey, Delta.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run. Mike's 50. Mike's 50. You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
2nd and 5 now. Trubisky going to let one fly for Robinson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
But one thing's for sure, when you got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively.
You got tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. Trubisky to Gabriel there for a Bears first down.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Mike's 5-4. Target. Hold the look.
On first down, they go right back to Cohen. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Hey, box drop.
54 Mike.
On 2nd down and 4, Trubisky. Looking deep for Gabriel. It's caught at the 10. A big play there just before halftime. 42 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
54 Mike.
Here we go, here we go. Check 50, check 50. Alert.
Now Trubisky looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Anthony Miller there, but now it's 3rd and goal.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. This Seattle defense, they haven't broken yet.
18.
Coming up here on a 3rd and goal situation.
He's checking crowd.
Topper! Red, top.
Here's Trubisky to throw. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Now McManus will line up for the field goal. The kick by McManus is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Chris Carson trotting back out there. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves.
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. Kind of surprised they accept the penalty.
The only thing that comes to mind for me is they want to move them back 5 yards because they feel good about their defense. But in most situations, you take the down. That's what counts more.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd down at the 16-yard line.
So we have come to halftime. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They run the counter. Carson, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing is Wilson. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Akeem Hicks at 6'5", 332 finds his way home for the sack. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return, and the Bears take over. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there. Oh, Cohen lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And he's got Rome. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coach.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Tyrann Mathieu, normally known for the pass coverage. This time a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On second down now, it's Carson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Nice hit, boy.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stout troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though? When they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive, a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over. Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Hey, wahoo! Mike by 4.
Now Trubisky to throw. Looking deep for Gabriel. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
65. 54.
Throwing here, Trubisky. Rolling to his left. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. First down, a run with Cohen. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
54 Mike. I got one. Play it. Check through. Alert.
Again, it's Cohen. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. 16 yards is the pickup there and a first down for Chicago.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. On the carry, it's Montgomery. And shedding the tackle, and now some room.
Come on, fellas. Mike 54.
I smell fear in that offense.
Hey, Blue. Showing up. Hey, 18.
They'll run on first down. It's Cohen. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is up to 18 now. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Hey, alert.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. Tackle made by Delano Hill.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest game, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Hey, Haywood! Now!
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. It's been a struggle for him accruing yards in this game passing the football. So there he said, hey, I'm going to try to chuck it deep, but another incompletion.
Has to be a little bit frustrating because of what you just described. It's been a struggle for him here in the second half, hoping for one big shot to get him out of the doldrums.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Here's Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
On first down, Cohen able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Not today. Check 99. Check 99.
18.
Now it's Trubisky. Open man is Trey Burton. And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Trubisky now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Trubisky gives to Cohen, and an alley to run. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A good pickup, 17 yards and a bare first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw him through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That play gets him 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal.
I'm coming.
They'll run for it with Montgomery. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. David Montgomery, his 9th touchdown of the season as the Bears push further out in front. Now McManus to tack on the extra point.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Watch the screen.
Here's Wilson to throw. It's complete to Lockett. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 44-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing again here, Wilson, and Dixon has it. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category.
Come on, man. Let's go.
Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Check 9.
They begin the drive on the ground. It's White. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And then when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Alert, 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 alert. You ain't got nothing. Hey, orbit.
Now it's Trubisky. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this will be caught at the 30. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Long day for you. Safe.
Ran,
Switch.
They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Hey. 50's the mic. 50's the mic. Rip right. 50's the mic. Here we go.
Ain't no look back. Hey, we got Mike 50.
Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. He will push his way down to about the 14. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
So we had action to the very end of this one, the score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the